Y'all, I think I'm done reading Eva Chase.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Hi, my name is Audra, and on this channel I do whatever I want because this is a hobby and not a job, and welcome to Smutter Day. It's a thing I'll do from time to time wherein I will go over and review a book or books that I have listened to via audiobooks because my job as a mail carrier makes it much more difficult for me to be the bookworm I used to be, so I listen to the books and it's a good time. And it's all smut. All of it's smut. Sometimes, very rarely, there will be something that's not smut. But this is Smutter Day, so it's smut. So I recently finished the Heart of a Monster series by Eva Chase. It is narrated by Amber Lee Connors and Aiden Snow. Narrators did an amazing job. Most of the narrators are really good. On occasion, I'll find one where I'm just like, I don't know why you're reading it like this, and I know that part of that is the writing, but I can't listen anymore. I'm so sorry. Anyways, the narration was good. Aiden Snow's voice makes me just like, ugh. Okay. Okay, I'm done now, I think. Yes. So here's the thing. I feel like this is the second or third series by Eva Chase that I have finished. This is a 4-book series. It is a reverse harem novel. I don't remember the names of all of the monsters, but I do know that there is one that is a dragon, there is one that is a demon, there is one that is basically a squid, and there is one that is a gargoyle. I don't know why I had to say basically a squid, but he does have tentacles, so maybe more octopus. He does have tentacles, and yes, it does do what you think it does. We'll get there. And I noticed one important thing that I dislike about most of her books. And let me just start by saying, first, I have to go through this story. I'm going to try to go over it fairly quickly. And it doesn't matter because honestly, if you've read this book before, you know, I think you know what I'm going to say. If you haven't read this before, but you're neurodivergent, so getting spoilers doesn't matter to you, keep watching. If spoilers do matter to you, listen to or read the books, then come back. It's fine. Again, hobby, not job. So this story centers on a young woman named Quinn who is 21 years old. She was given a heart. She had a heart transplant when she was a child. And she is aware that her life is, finite at this point. I mean, all of ours is, but like at a young age, she's aware that there's a very good possibility that she's going to die soon because unless she gets bumped up on the heart transplant list, because she's starting to experience some problems with the heart. And she wants to be an architect and find a way to leave her mark on the world since she's not going to be in it for very long. Problem number one, right off the bat, I'm not sure why Eva Chase decided to give her a heart defect because I know that this is a romance tale. Therefore, there will be a happily ever after, which means I don't give a damn about her heart. I know she's not going to die, so that doesn't place any impetus on me to like worry about her at all. Like I'm aware of what's going to take place. I know that there's no possible way she's actually going to die unless they do like they did in the Black Daggerhood brother series where old girl dies, but she's still like able to be corporeal when she's with her man. So, I mean, it still doesn't matter. Like they're still going to be together and it doesn't matter. Do you see what I'm saying? So already I'm not invested in her heart problem at all. Can't figure out why that's even there. And it's really there as a plot device because the heart that she received is a heart from a sorcerer. And in Eva Chase's world, there are shadow kind, which are the demon, the gargoyle, the dragon, the squidopus. We'll call him that. His name is I can't remember. But there's the 4 of them. And sorcerers, for reasons, don't like the shadow kind and control them by way of weird compulsion magic. They use compulsion and they control the shadow kind. For what reason? We don't know. We're never told in any of the stories why they do this. They just do. Again, a lot of the bad characters in Eva Chase's stories are just plot devices and they don't really have any rhyme or reason. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there, because obviously our main female character, Quinn, runs into these shadow kind men and ends up with all 4 of them at one point or another. The whole story is about the Behemoth and Leviathan, who are, for reasons, again, trying to, I guess, eat a bunch of sorcerers and obtain the sorcerer's powers. And we're trying to figure out where they're going with that because they're also sacrificing other shadow kind to make this happen. at some point in the story, Quinn is able to, with the help of the demon, who is her enemies to lovers lover, because there's 4 of them. You know what I mean? There's 4 of them. So he's her friends to enemies to lovers. He is her enemies to lovers lover. There we go. That is difficult to say. So sorry. Anyways, they are able to take down the behemoth. And it's really anticlimactic, but then up out of the water pops its partner, the Leviathan, sucking out all the essence. Now, just so you know, the reason that you suck out the essence is because the essence gives you power. If you suck out the essence of a shadow kind person, that's how you make a sorcerer. And coincidentally, Quinn's heart, the reason she's a sorcerer, came from a sorcerer. And that's why she has this collision course with the shadow kind. I know it seems like I'm telling you the story in like different levels and layers and not in a linear path, but there's no reason to, because when the Leviathan pops up out of the water and he's like, you're very excited, right? You're like, okay, we're finally getting there. We're finally getting to the main plot of this story. At one point, Quinn is using her sorcerer compulsion to try to lure the Leviathan into the trap so that the story can end. They can all go live their lives. However, he breaks free of her compulsion, becomes a man, because all shadow kind, well, not all, but a lot of the shadow kind can transform themselves into like almost human so that they can walk amongst humans. And he then says that nothing is going to stop him from bringing the highest through to this realm. Why? We're never going to find out. We're never going to know. They're not ever going to tell us why. He just wants to. Plot device. So it's a plot device. The Leviathan is just doing this. They've been doing this. The whole story culminates in him, the Leviathan, trying to pull the highest through. It is unsuccessful because Quinn is able to use her sorcerer powers, and she ends up sucking up all of his essence and killing the Leviathan, and then sending the highest back, who, again, the highest are supposed to be over all of the shadow kind. They don't really serve a purpose, honestly. They're, again, plot devices. That's the problem with Eva Chase's stories. At the end of this, you never really find out why exactly the Behemoth and Leviathan wanted to bring the highest through to the earth realm. Like, you're never really given a reason why. They just want to. We just need them to do that so that Quinn has a reason to have a sorcerer heart and so that she has a reason to die. But of course, does she die? No. No, she doesn't die, because her demon, her enemy to lover, ended up getting her bumped up on the heart transplant list, so she got a heart transplant. Her parents know about the shadow kind men she's with, and they seem kind of okay with it. They're fine. Everybody's fine. The story is weak, and that is why I don't like Eva Chase's stories. I feel like if she wants to have a conflict for the lovers, it doesn't have to be a supernatural conflict. It can simply be a regular romance that has regular romance conflicts. Like, we've all read the billionaire ones, we've read the age gap ones, maybe not you. Sorry. Listen, let me live my life. And if you are interested in my theories on why age gap is so popular, let me know in the comments below, and I will have a conversation about that on a different Smutter day. So the main point that I'm trying to get to, which I'm never going to get to because who cares about main points? It's not me and my ADHD. Anyways, I feel like she can just have a regular conflict of her falling in love with 4 men and them trying to all be together and them having issues with the whole situation. You can even have like the kidnap situation, because we all love a good kidnapping in a romance novel, and how they're like, I hate you, and now we're making sweet, hot, dirty love. We like that. But what I don't like is that you read these 4 books, which, by the way, the other thing that I'm begging some of these authors to do, like, I understand that there are 4 lovers, but there don't have to be 4 books, because I feel like I'm just wasting time sometimes in between books 3 and 4, and sometimes a little bit in between books 2 and 3. Like, there's just time wasting because they want to have 4 books. It doesn't need 4 books, but I'm guessing their publisher is trying to drag it out to 4 books. And so it just feels like there's just time where you're just kind of, there's also a lot of lovemaking where it doesn't make any sense that there's lovemaking. So you're just kind of like, why are y'all banging? Like, somebody is like almost dying in the next room, and y'all are like, I just need to feel alive by having dirty sex. And so it's like, fine, I'm here for the smut. I don't have a problem with the smut. Eva Chase writes really good smut, but her stories, to me, are lacking. There's no reason why the Leviathan and the Behemoth are doing all of this. And the thing that I find interesting and or weird about that is sorry about that. My shelves have arrived. I'm going to actually be able to finish unpacking my bathroom a little bit more. Both of them. I'm actually going to be able to finish unpacking some stuff so that I have places for things to go. Because have I unpacked? Really? No. Anyways, the Leviathan and the Behemoth have zero reason. They don't really say why they want that. And it doesn't make sense because there is, in fact, an entire shadow realm where all the shadow creatures can just go to. So and the whole reason that they come to the Earth realm is to experience Earth and to like hang out with humans or sometimes eat them, whatever. But there's no real reason for why the Leviathan and the Behemoth want to bring the shadow realm to the Earth realm. And there's no point to it. And why are they dragging the highest into it? We don't know. Why are the highest ever there? They're really there just to like plot device. In this book, this set of books, what ends up happening is that Torrent is his name, Torrent the Squid. He does end up going to the highest to try to warn them that the Behemoth and the Leviathan are trying to drag them onto the Earth realm. And he gets rewarded for that by getting beat the fuck up. So, and that's not the first time I've seen, there was another one with Sorsha and her 4 men. She is a phoenix. And again, the highest are just a plot device in that story as well. They don't ever listen to anybody. And you would think that after that, because that story took place prior to this story, you would think that after that, the highest would like listen to their underlings. They don't, because again, they are a plot device. They don't care. They don't do anything. Quinn's heart problem is absolutely like, it's there so that she can be a sorceress. Just make her a sorceress. You didn't have to have her heart be an issue and her taking medication because it made no difference to the story. In the end, she still lives. She gets a new heart. And as the reader, you're absolutely uninterested in anything having to do with her heart. Like every time she has like a little bit of trouble breathing or she experiences pain, I literally don't care. And I know that seems like I'm just a heartless monster. Perhaps I am. But I don't care because there's no reason to care because I know she's not going to die. It is a non-issue. So I feel like she had a story there that could have just been about Quinn trying to experience her life. Even if she wanted to have the heart situation be a situation, I feel like there's a story there that we didn't need any of the supernatural stuff because it didn't do anything for us. It didn't do anything. Like the whole thing, top to bottom, I was just like, I don't know why this exists. She goes to see some other sorcerers. They don't want to listen to her when she tries to warn them that they're about to get eaten by the Leviathan. They're like, whatever, we're not listening to you. And like, that's the other thing. She's very always trying to be helpful and have a general good outlook on people and creatures alike. She's incorrect just almost every single time. The only time she is actually correct is with her 4 men, right? Like that's literally it. Everyone else, she's wrong. Her heart, she has a bleeding heart. I'm so sorry. Listen, please don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It always bites her in the ass. Like her helping people doesn't do anything. You also get an epilogue and a bonus epilogue. And for reasons Eva thought we needed to know whether or not they all had children, which we knew that they couldn't, because one of my favorite things about her universe, about Eva Chase's universe, is that the shadow kind can't reproduce. So I like that because I don't really like babies in my smut. You know what I mean?
Not like that.
I'm just saying, I don't like that I'm pregnant. And, those tales are always funny to me. It's like me and Rafe met up one night and like da 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 da. He was my brother's best friend, and we one night when I turned 18 had dirty lovins, and he deflowered me. But I had a secret, and that secret was a baby, and that baby is a son, and he's 8 years old, and Rafe has rolled back up into her life and sees that child because she has to work for him for some reason. Nobody knows. It's either like she goes to get a job, realizes it's him, and is trying to hide the child from him until he has to go to her house for some reason because he's like, girl, you messed this up, and we need to talk, or we need to work on our working relationship because you're not doing what I want. And the son is there, and he sees him. match, looks exactly like him, And he's like, that is in fact my son. And we have to talk, some splaining to do. And he's like, you're going to move into my house and you're going to be my wife because I'm not having a son of mine. Anyways, that's a tale for another day. But you know what I'm talking about. Why am I like this? The point is, I just feel like I didn't need anything having to do with whether or not she could have kids, because my whole point is that to me, it undermined her making her own personal decisions. And she made a choice and a decision to be with these 4 men and love them regardless of the fact. And for me, because of the fact that there were not going to be any children. And so and then they do this lame thing where her architecture, her buildings are her babies. And so the demon is like, hey girl, you want to build my special school for the demons that don't fit in good? Those are your babies. And she's like, oh my God, yes. Terrible. I was like, no, leave that out. Now on to the smut part. Okay. Cause even Chase books, it's literally just smut, and you have to get past the fact if you want to keep reading them. I'm not. It can't be me. I'm not doing it anymore. But if you want to get past the fact that the story is virtually non-existent, doesn't make any sense, and has 0 point, but you want the smut, she's got it for you in spades. All right. I'm going to tell you, every hole she has gets filled. Listen, it's true. All at one time. Also, all at one time. The demon has a double situation, and they are like this. They're stacked on top of each other. And yes, he does. The tentacles. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He does. Now, the one issue I do have with Eva's smut writing is this. I'm concerned as to why in her dirty talk we call the front bum the p***y, the c***. But when we get to the actual bum, we call it the other opening. Girl, I'm going to really need you to be consistent, because I'm not going to be calling this, all the X-rated words, and then we get back here and it's G-rated. That's the X-rated spot. First of all, that's the most X-rated spot. And you over here trying to call it other opening? It took me out of the book every single time she did that, because the amount of times that I heard, the big P and the big C and then other opening, it literally, I would be just doing my thing, delivering mail, putting the things in, and they'd say other opening. I would guffaw, literally guffaw. Okay. Cause I couldn't handle it. I was like, why are we suddenly 4 years old? Why are we children when we're talking about the bum? Girl, if you don't call it an ass. So other than that, I think her smut rating is great. I think that my personal opinion is I don't need conflict in her tales, because most of the time it's not great. It's not her storytelling, and having a great fantasy adventure plot is not great. It's not good at all. If you want good fantasy adventure plots, you're gonna need to go see Megan and Lori, whatever her name is. Listen, I'll put their names here because I can't remember right off the top of my head. You know what? No, I don't have to do that because my phone literally in my hand, and I can go look. Meg Ann and Kay Lorraine. If you want a good with smut, with the dirtiness, with the freak shit, you want that, and you want a good tale, I would read the Make Game series by them. But otherwise, listen, Eva, girl, I don't know what you're doing. Not my cup of tea. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like it if you did. Subscribe if you're not. If you don't, it's okay too. You know what I mean? You're free to do what you will. And until next time, I am so pretty, and so are you.